Hello, and welcome to a video walkthrough of the simulation called Practicing Unit Conversion with Spreadsheets. The simulation teaches students about unit conversions in the context of fuel efficiency and guides them in performing relevant calculations within a spreadsheet. The context section provides the necessary background for working through the simulation. It begins with an introduction to fuel efficiency and the units associated with it, followed by explanations and animated demonstrations of how to convert between miles and kilometers and between gallons and liters. Note the brief section on dimensionless ratios, which can be expanded by clicking the drop-down arrow. Next, students are introduced to the fundamentals of spreadsheet calculations, and finally to the type of data they will use in the simulation. Clicking on Next section opens the interactive portion of the activity. In the right panel, we see that this section is divided into 5 overarching steps, each containing several sub-steps that guide students through the simulation. On the left-hand side is the spreadsheet in which students will carry out the calculations. The first overarching step familiarizes students with the spreadsheet data, so let's follow along. Columns A to C show data for 3 vehicles, each of which completed 5 trips. Column A lists the vehicles and trip numbers, starting with the 5 trips for vehicle A, followed by vehicle B, and then C. From the context section, students know that the 3 vehicles are a compact car, a truck, and an SUV. However, they are not informed which label, A, B, or C, corresponds to each vehicle type. The goal is for students to later deduce the correct answer using the fuel efficiency results. We need to highlight all of vehicle A's trips to proceed to the next sub-step. Click in the top cell and drag down to the bottom cell. Column B shows the fuel consumed in gallons. Here we highlight the fuel consumption data for vehicle B. Column C gives the trip length in miles. Highlight all trip length values for vehicle C. Column D is for calculating fuel efficiency for each trip in units of miles per gallon. As we will see, columns F through H are used to compute each vehicle's average fuel efficiency and then to convert it to kilometers per liter. Conversion factors are given in column I. Click Continue to proceed to the next overarching step. Here students learn how to type a mathematical formula and apply it to multiple cells using the fill handle. Let's follow along with the sub-steps to calculate fuel efficiency. We start with vehicle A, trip 1. Type an equal sign into cell D2, followed by C2, corresponding to the trip length of vehicle A, trip 1, divided by B2, the fuel consumed during that trip, and enter. We see that we now have the fuel efficiency for vehicle A's first trip. To apply the formula to the rest of the dataset, select cell D2, click on the small blue square or fill handle, and drag down to the last cell. Looking at the formula bar here at the top of the sheet, we see that the fill handle automatically copies the formula to the next cells, updating the cell references accordingly. So D3 is equal to C3 divided by B3, D4 is equal to C4 divided by B4, and so on. Next, we calculate each vehicle's average fuel efficiency from its 5 trips. So for vehicle A, we can type equal sign and average, open bracket, D2 colon D6, close bracket. This means we are calculating the averages of the cells from D2 to D6. Press enter. Now we do the same for vehicle B. Equal average, open bracket. Now we type D7 colon D11. Alternatively, we can select D7 and drag down to D11. Close the bracket and enter. And similarly for vehicle C, equal sign, average, open bracket. We want D12 to D16. As an optional step, we can apply the familiar arithmetic mean formula to check the result for average fuel efficiency of vehicle A. We can do that in cell F6. So let's type an equal sign, open bracket, D2 plus D3 plus D4 plus D5 plus D6, close the bracket, divided by 5. And we obtain the same result as when the average function is used. A hint is provided to help students with this step. Note that in column F, we did not use the fill handle to copy the formula for vehicles B and C. The fill handle duplicates the formula and automatically increments the row numbers by 1. As a result, D2 to D6 in the original formula would become D3 to D7 in the cell below, which is not what we want. In the final overarching step, the simulation guides students through unit conversions from miles per gallon to kilometers per gallon, and finally to kilometers per liter. We start by typing in the formula, equal sign and F2 times the conversion factor of 1.609, enter. We can use the fill handle now to copy this formula to the other cells. And then to get to kilometers per liter, we type equal sign G2 divided by the conversion factor of 3.785, enter. And again, let's use the fill handle to complete this step. This concludes the unit conversions. Students can now move on to analyzing the results in the reflection section. In the first 2 questions of the reflection section, they examine the fuel efficiency data to differentiate between the compact car, the SUV, and the truck. To return to the spreadsheet and review the calculated values, students can click the previous section button and then click continue to go back to the reflection section. The final 4 questions continue to assess and deepen students' conceptual understanding of fuel efficiency. To conclude, the simulation provides a brief summary of the key skills students developed during the activity. I hope that you found this video helpful and that the simulation will be of great value to you and your students. Thank you for watching.